Hey guys, been a while, your boy HHWH. Just spending some time by myself in the forest, thinking and doing some experiments, solitude, isolation. I'm a family man now, my beautiful partner Kate and my stepdaughter 5-year-old Rory, so taking the time to be by myself, which has been rare the last 3 months, but very grateful for the time spent strengthening our relationship, learning lessons, growing, and nearly on the island of Koh Phangan very soon. So just taking this time to think of things that matter to me, and I wanted to share a thought experiment. And I always try and share things that are important that I'm learning or thinking. So I was just imagining here in the forest, what if I was due, by the way there's no one in the forest, empty for miles around, what if someone came up and executed me in the next hour or so? So from 1 hour from now, say, with no rhyme or reason, there was a definitive knowing in myself that I was due to be, a man was due there just to walk up and shot. And I imagine that in my head and thinking, it's just gonna happen to me. Why? Because. Not because. And this is the whole point of the experiment, just because. Not because I'm a victim or anything. What would I be thinking if I had an hour left to live? And I'm not talking about a collective asteroid, so the collective is dying, but me as an individual, giving me the opportunity basically in this last hour of my life before I know I'm going to be shot in the head and died, for an injustice, giving me the opportunity to process that death in an hour. What would I be thinking, and what kind of things should I be thinking, and what would I be thinking? Well, let's be real, because it's not a mass collective end to the world, and it's an injustice to me, but I know it's definitely going to happen. The challenge in that last hour would be not to think negatively and worry and put a lot of why me and yada yada. But that is I think what would happen to a lot of people, including myself, because we cling to this life because we know we are infinite beings. We live forever, but we don't act like that because we live in separation in here. The journey is to get to that present moment where everything is connected and you know you're a piece of the whole that God created for you. So in that hour, the challenge would be to let go of the feeling sorry for yourself, why me, the fear of the process of the gun being put, and the feeling of the pain, and the feeling of separation, and why me. And if in that hour one was to do it and I was to do it, the challenge would be to, because you'd be thinking, let's be real here, in that hour before you're dying, you'd be thinking a lot of things. Would you be able, would you, this is the journey, would you be able to get a pace where you accept your inevitable death without apprehension, fear, injustice, why me, just me? Would you be able to accept? Because in that hour, if you did, even for a tiny second, what would await you would be complete surrender to what is going to happen in the future, so the now would be peaceful, and all around you, you would be buzzing. You'd be buzzing with the present moment, which is alive. God resides in the present moment, in everything, in the senses, being alive with the senses. The trouble is we're in our heads, in past or future too much, thinking, worrying, and of course, the opportunities, one of the greatest opportunities is when you're dying, when you know you're going to die, or at the moment before an accident, or at the death process, the death portal itself. So in that hour, would I be able to get past, surely, that initial stages of injustice, fear, how painful it is, just to live even for a few seconds, minutes, the whole hour, the whole 45 minutes afterwards, in that present moment awareness and acceptance of what is, because in that feeling of being with the senses in the present moment, there is no fear, just acceptance of what is, and there will be no fear of death, because there is no such thing as true, eternal death for eternal beings here. In the present moment lies the peace of God. Surrendering and accepting that the present moment is the journey. Surrendering to what is, because right now the present moment is always alive, whether you're with people or in nature or anywhere. It's always popping off of what you're hearing, seeing, feeling, emotions. Like a kid, you're going through these processes, but we have these blocks of thought and thinking, of concepts that block us and keep us dead and numb. But if I had an hour to live, and I knew I was going to die and a man was going to shoot me, trust me, I wouldn't be numb. I'd be thinking negative feelings and thoughts of injustice that I would like to think. And that is the journey to transmute into something of surrender, because it will be hell on earth. You've got two choices: an hour left to live, you know you're going to be shot, and it just is what it is. Can't run, nothing. Either I live in hell for the last hour of my life, or I wake up to surrender to the aliveness of the moment and accept what is in the very moment. And think about it. Is that easy for any human being to do? With the pain, with the fact that even if it was painless, an hour that you were going to die, not forever, but it feels forever. When you're not awakened with the senses and present. In the present moment lies the feeling of connection with the all, and the knowing, the inner knowing, that there is no such thing as death. You're eternal, and surrendering to that present is the key to life itself. I'd like to think I can do it. I know I can do it, and my journey is that at some point in my life. I'd like to think I could do it now, but who knows? Just mental experiments for you. That is the journey. Peace.